Never fight for someone's attention. Do these 10 steps instead. It can be really frustrating when you feel like you are always the bone, putting in all the trouble and no way getting anything back. You might start to wonder if that person indeed cares about you at all. According to relationship experts, fighting for someone's attention is generally only going to boomerang and to make them want to part themselves from you. But what if I told you that there was a much better way to deal with this situation? In fact, if you follow the 9-way and advice that I'm going to outline in this composition, not only will you get their attention, but they will also start chasing you. The main reason why most people fight for someone's attention is that they were hysterical of being ignored or rejected. They suppose that if they do not put in the trouble, the other person will no way notice them. So they try to be as close to the other person as possible and do everything they can to get their attention. Still, this generally has the contrary effect of what they are trying to achieve. Rather of getting the person's attention, they'd frequently end up pushing them down because it starts to feel stifling and hopeless for the other person. So what can you do rather to flip the script and make the other person start chasing you? The result is actually relatively simple. 1. Automaticity spark the senses. We pay attention subconsciously and automatically to certain sights, sounds, and colors and other sensitive stimulants grounded on the discrepancy they have with their surroundings and the associations we have with them. For illustration, the color of a commercial totem is incompletely responsible for how a consumer perceives the brand. Red can elicit intensity and aggression. Blue can elicit comfort and clarity. Yellow can elicit energy and newness. And your body temperature can determine the way you judge someone. In a 2008 study, set out that actors who held a hot mug of coffee were more likely to judge a foreigner as good, natured, and generous than those who held an iced coffee. They'd also set out that holding a warm object made someone more likely to be generous themselves. So if you are going to meet someone for the first time, try meeting over a hot coffee. However, make sure yours is iced. If you are going to negotiate a deal. 2. Dress the part. Dress for the part you want, whether it's serious preceptor, unborn CEO, or looking just plain enough. You have to look like you mean business and that you are taking this seriously, and more importantly, like you take them seriously. Dress in clothes that flatter your body, that are clean, and free of stains and holes or gashes. Iron your clothes if they are wrinkled. Put trouble into choosing an outfit. Perhaps go shopping just for the occasion of meeting an important person. If you do not know how to, get ideas from popular apparel stores like H&M or Zara. Until you have a more comfortable relationship with someone, be they business mate or friend, you should dress to their comfort and appeal substantially to them, rather of yourself. This means that indeed if you like tight shirts, it may be better to hold off if it's going to be off-putting for them. Dislocation. We pay special attention to anything that violates our prospects. This is because we've an ingrained need to figure out whether the incident signals a trouble or a positive development. In academic circles, this is known as expectation violations proposition. The further disruptive commodity is, the more intriguing it becomes. To get the attention of your heads, guests, and associates, try surprising them in a positive way. Ask an unanticipated question. Beat a tough deadline. Invite them for a walk rather of a coffee. 4. Use their name. Using a person's name when you address them is an excellent way to get their attention because it's hard to ignore someone saying your name. Rodriguez says, it also displays familiarity and honesty. This is especially poignant with familiarity and public numbers that you do not have a close connection with. Having someone say your name feels particular and generally lowers defenses, giving you an automatic in. Suppose about when you were in class as a sprat or in a council lecture hall and a school teacher called you out by name. There is little mistrustfulness that you sat up and paid attention. 5. Stand in silence. You might suppose that simply standing in silence would have the contrary effect of getting someone to notice you, that rather it would get you to sort of mix into the background. But that might not be the case. This works because as you stand still with an affable expression in your face, you are making eye contact with actors, engaging them. But it really only works if you are in a position of power or that people know that you command respect. However, they might not have the same response. If no bone knows that you are in charge, they will just suppose you are hanging out outside of the center of attention. 6. Be relatable and genuine. However, whether you are trying to vend them a product or you just want to get a Joe to talk to you, you have to be relatable. If you want people to pay attention to you, they have to identify with and feel connected to you. They have to believe that you're what you are dealing yourself as. That is just mortal nature. This means showing your excrescence and not trying to make yourself feel like Superman. Do not oversell it. You need to feel presumptive, real, and palpable. You need to feel veracious. When you are not relatable, people feel like they are getting vended a story. They feel like they are being manipulated. Rather, let them see a slightly better interpretation of what they formerly know to be true. Also, they won't only be motivated. They will feel like you are a commodity they can actually have and earn. This goes for those who feel lower than their peers too. Let people see that you enjoy up to your excrescencies, but you are really working to ameliorate yourself. They will give you a chance, because they hope that someone would give them the chance too. Do not say effects you do not really mean or laugh at jokes you do not get or do not find funny. People can tell. You should also avoid rehearsed speeches. You do not want the announcement dupe sound. This seems more manipulative and fake. Rather, always speak from the heart. 7. Riddle. Ever wonder why we are unfit to put down a good book or stop binge watching shows like Lost? Our memory is fine, tuned to flashback deficient stories and tasks. There's actually a scientific term for this, the Zeigarnik effect, named after the Soviet psychologist who discovered it. We also dislike query and will laboriously try to reduce it by any means possible. And you can use this to your advantage. Say you are meeting with a prospective customer or novitiate, and you'd like her to come back for an alternate meeting. Tell her a story or assign yourself a task that you will complete when she does. Her coercion for completion will henpeck at her, which means you have got her attention. 8. Produce great content. There's still a place for longer pieces and great content. Great content is sticky, it's shareable, it creates buzz. Abating attention spans can still be overcome by compelling stories, vids, or illustrations, whether they're amusing, instructional, or simply a good way to pass the time. Our smarts are being wired to parse distractions, to move snappily over information, to sail through an ocean of musketeers updates, tweets, and drumfires of prints. But when we run into commodity that pulls us in, another part of our brain clicks on, and we settle down and concentrate. By combining all of these approaches together, web spots and apps have the stylish shot at not just engaging us during our one visit, but encouraging us to come back again and again. Because that's what our wandering eyes are really in hunt of, not simply an experience that's new, but one that's compelling. 9. Treat your outfit as a way to start discussion. One way to connect with someone and make them pay attention to you is to find common ground. Believe it or not, your clothes can help you do that. Have you ever started a discussion with someone wearing a t-shirt or baseball cap with the name of a place you visited or academy that you or a family member attended? Wearing apparel that reflects you gives the other person the green light to talk to you. Indeed, if you are not laboriously trying to talk to them, they will still notice you. I'd also make sure that you wear intriguing pieces of jewelry, which can act as discussion starters. Unique, unusual, or indeed classic jewelry will encourage others to note. 10. Seek to understand. How numerous times have you met someone who's completely concentrated on their own docket and does not want to hear what anyone differently has to say? Rather of being curious about divergent opinions, he is critical and argumentative, rather than being conclusive and inviting. That person is abrasive and drives guests down. Salesmen who are only upset about meet their proportions by trying to vend guest commodity they do not need engage in what I call drive selling. That type of dealing repels rather than attracts people. It's obnoxious and outputting. No bone wants to be around that kind of energy. So this is all for today's video. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so that you get notified as soon as we upload a video. Also, do not forget to comment down below what are the things you guys follow to gain people's attention. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in next one.